What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about DFI.money. This is a fork of Yearn Finance. This is still probably quite significantly undervalued right now. So I want to look at what this could feasibly hit in the next bull cycle. It's probably quite a conservative estimate, really. But also, obviously, with the collapse of FTX, I want to talk about the hawks that are currently circling, looking at buying up some crypto companies because every company has had their valuations hit dramatically from the FTX collapse. So I'll talk about that in this video as well. But before I get into it, guys, if you're new to crypto or you're new to this channel, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. And had you just invested $100, only $100 into each of these coins when I released videos about them, and you'd ignored them for 2 years and just never sold them, done everything wrong as an investor, you'd still be in profit for 9.2K from a $2,600 investment, doing everything wrong. But if you'd done the right things, if you just sold these coins last year like I did when the markets were flying high, and you'd put $100 into each of these, you could have made 123K profit from a $2,600 investment. Massive difference between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. Now, like I said, I sold these. These are not the coins I own anymore. But if you want to see the coins that I currently own, you can go to copymycrypto.com. Links on screen. On that site, I share my portfolio. I share anytime I buy a coin, anytime I sell a coin. We've got tutorials set up for the members, so anyone that's brand new to crypto can get in and get involved. And fundamentally, look, I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. If that interests you, a lot of the members just go on to copy the portfolio because the record of success is here to see. And look, you'll see Phantom tops the list there. 677 times it went up in value. So if you'd have put in $100, you'd made 67 grand. $1,000 would have bought you a house. 2 grand would have made you a millionaire. I'll find another Phantom, and when I do, I will be jumping onto the site and letting the members know about it, telling them what percentage of my holdings are going into it, and they can make the same profit. It's like when you're at school and you've got that mate that's just straight A student and you're not, but you copy him in a test, you get the same result. Doesn't matter that you did no studying, you still get the same result. That's what Copy My Crypto is. And if you want to be a part of it, just go to the link on screen and read through the site. So DFI.money. Priced at $1,500 right now, $1,550. So last year, this peaked out at around 9K, I believe. Yeah, so just showing 9K. Now, I think this will probably jump back up to around 5K. I'm actually being really conservative. I'm not suggesting anything hugely dramatic here. This is a fork of the popular Yearn Finance. Yearn Finance created by Andrew Cronje, the crypto developer, the innovator, the guy that obviously made Yearn Finance, that pushed Phantom on to another level. And the whole premise of DFI.money is to optimize returns for DeFi investors. So DFI have released a ton of products. The Vault they describe as their killer product. And this is where they can earn yield on basically a ton of different stable coins. And DFI.money or YFII is the token that actually fuels the liquidity providers. So that's what liquidity providers earn with their network interactions. So Andrew Cronje left Yearn Finance in 2021, I believe, or 2020, and then returned. And in July 2020, mining and farming of Yearn Finance is ended, and a proposal to protect liquidity was passed, which meant whales earned 80% support among the protocol participants. What ended up happening as a result is a group of users adopted the hard fork of DFI.money so that basically earnings could be more evenly distributed. So the hard fork implemented, known as YFII, makes sure that the rewards decrease each week, which basically follows the pattern of Bitcoin, like in the sense of the halving that Bitcoin goes through. So DFI.money fulfills the requirements of what Yearn Finance was, which was, providing people with the opportunity to earn really good yields. And when you take a look at like DFI.money's Vault as an example, like their killer product, as you can see, the APY for just BUSD is 18%. Now that's pretty significant. Like 18% yield on a stable coin is goddamn huge. USDT is 8.8%. You've got DAI is 16.9%. So by depositing, you can earn these huge yields. And that is quite incredible. And the reason that I'm bullish on these DeFi protocols is fundamentally down to one simple premise. And the simple premise is people are going to move more and more towards DeFi. It is inevitable after we've seen so many massive crypto centralized exchanges screw people over. Now, whether that was Celsius, whether that was Voyager, whether that was BlockFi, whether that was FTX, so many people have been damaged by centralized exchanges. And those people that have been damaged by centralized exchanges will shift their focus towards a DeFi protocol where they are in control of everything. And as a result, those DeFi protocols will run up in price, probably rather significantly. And what you can see from DeFi.money is that they are integrated with a ton of different protocols already. So they're integrated with YFII, which is like a loan project. They're integrated with Flux. They're integrated with 4Tube, which is another loan project, and Filder. They've got their mining projects, which is Boring DAO, Orbits, YFII again. And then they've got other partners like Near, like Binance Chains, Chainlink, Wabi EcoChain, Akala, Polkadot, Moonbeam. They are well into Moonswap, sorry. They're well integrated with a ton of different projects already. And you bear in mind, it's not actually been up and running that long. So there's a lot of potential here. And fundamentally, look, there's a fixed supply of there's only ever going to be 40,000 of these tokens. So that can't be manipulated. That's the upside. This was made possible by sending keys allowing minting of new tokens to what's called a black hole address. So access to them is always permanently lost. As a result, there can never be more. So 40,000 is always going to be the max. And when that 40,000 is hit, you're looking at, let's say, 5K a coin. That's a 200 million market cap. That is not that big. And maybe I'm actually massively underestimating it. Because fundamentally, why couldn't it be $1 billion? It's a fair argument. It could still arguably become $1 billion project once again, but it needs obviously interaction. And one thing that you can see is the centralized exchange volume is still quite significant. You're talking about $121 million worth of trading for a coin that has a market cap of 60 million. Now, for me, there is a bit of a red flag there because that's very, very high for a very small market cap. You don't expect the volume to be double the market cap. So there is a red flag there, and there is questions about whale manipulation there for me. But all in, why can't this do more? It might be able to do way more than $5,000. It might be me being massively conservative here. But when it's low cap, you do have to understand low cappers, anything south of 100 million, as a market cap have more and more risk. The lower the market cap, the bigger the risk. Everyone needs to understand that within crypto. The coins in the top 100 are going to be less risky than the coins in the top, 300 down. So that needs to be factored in. But we are going to have another surge in DeFi. That is inevitable because so many people have been damaged by centralized exchanges, and decentralized finance is just a way that people can earn better whilst being more secure. So if ever there was a need for DeFi after what we saw with FTX, what we saw with Celsius, what we saw with Voyager, what we saw with BlockFi, what we've seen with countless centralized exchanges over the past year, DeFi can still do something spectacular in the next bull cycle, and this is one I would be watching. You know, if this could drop down even more, you know, down to say $1,000 a coin, maybe $500 a coin, then this could be a phenomenal entry point for a crypto that's going to earn, that's probably going to end up rallying quite nicely because it will be swept up in the wave of DeFi that we will inevitably see. And it will start with your blue chips, your Aves, your compounds, your makers and everything else. But this would be one I'd be watching, because if it does drop in price dramatically, but they do start releasing additional products on top of the vault, there's definitely potential for this to do something. But you want to see development. If all they've got, the counter argument I would say, if all they've got by the next bull cycle is still just the vault, then probably not going to do much. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. The videos will make you money and it helps the channel. You want to do a good thing, be a good person, do that. And guys, if you want to see the coins I own right now, go to copymycrypto.com. On the site, like I said, I share my portfolio. Anytime I buy or sell a coin, the members are notified immediately. We have tutorials set out so that anyone can get into crypto. A lot of the members have never invested in anything ever, so these tutorials go through exactly how you can get into crypto. On top of that, guys, look, I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets if that interests you, but most people just want to copy along because there's a record of success here. No one in 2020 was talking about Phantom. Literally no YouTuber talked about Phantom in 2020. I did a whole Udemy course dedicated to the fact that I thought Phantom would 100x or more, and I will find another Phantom that will do those gains. And when I do, I'm going on the site and telling the members, I'm not doing a Udemy course. And if you want to make those kind of gains, those 600x's, even just the 100x's, then go read the site, guys. Like I say, the link's on screen. Go check it out. And last bit of news. Vultures are circling. The vultures are circling. Goldman Sachs are planning to spend tens of millions of dollars buying or investing in crypto-related companies after the collapse of FTX exchange hit tons of valuations. This is stated by a senior exec at Goldman Sachs. That's big news. Obviously, FTX's implosion has been massive, and we can't ignore the overall impact that this is going to have on the market, and already has had on the market, and will probably continue to have, because it's a contagion event. But big banks are seeing a chance to pick up tons of business, tons of cryptos, basically tons of profit, because every crypto company's valuations have been hit by this event, and they will continue to be hit. I've said this before, FTX will not end up being the only exchange that goes down over the next year or so. You know, I know we're seeing all these Merkle tree stuff coming out, all this proof of reserves. We're not actually seeing proof of liabilities. Show me proof of liabilities and then I'll trust your proof of reserves. Because your proof of reserves mean nothing if your liabilities exceed it. So transparency is still not there. Until we have full transparency, exchanges shouldn't be trusted. Now, Goldman Sachs is doing their due diligence right now on a number of different crypto companies, but they do see some really interesting opportunities priced much more sensibly. This is stated by Matthew McDermott, who's Goldman's head of digital assets in London. And I have no doubt about it in my mind that we're going to see Goldman Sachs, we're going to see Morgan Stanley, we're going to see all the big banks knocking about that are going to start picking up crypto companies or shares of crypto companies, or tons of cryptos themselves, just straight up crypto assets, during this bear cycle, because whilst they may have slammed all cryptos during bull cycles, they're very much aware that these are opportunities to make massive profits, and banks are all about making money. If they see an opportunity, they will take it. So paying attention to what the big boys do is worthwhile, because they are not going to make foolhardy investments during these bear cycles. So keep an eye on what Goldman Sachs and other similar banks are doing, because that is where money will be filtering in the next bull cycle. So guys, pay attention. And that is it from me. Take care. Bye-bye.